Hey, it's Elliot. So I just turned 20 on Saturday, which for me is a bigger deal than turning 21, like in my head. Partly because of all the meds I'm on, it won't be safe for me to like drink when I turn 21. I guess there are other things you can, but for me, turning 20 is like an equally big, if not bigger deal, because like I'm not a teenager anymore. Yay! My teenage years kind of sucked. Uh, but anyway, so I thought I'd make a 20 things I learned in 20 years video. I know it's like a thing that I guess was popular a few years ago, or I don't know if it's still popular or whatever, but I wanted to do it. And so I wrote down a list yesterday of the things so I wouldn't, because if I was gonna improv this, it would go real badly. So I'm just gonna read them, and some of them need a little more explanation than others. And the first one is one of the biggest things I've had to not only learn but embrace. That's my well-being has to be my priority, whether that be my mental health, my physical health, just like my overall like spiritual whatever. I can't be productive or do the things that I need to do unless I'm in a place where I'm healthy, and so that has to come first. 2, people and situations are never permanent, pleasant and unpleasant, so I have a really hard time with change. And so I guess I kind of covered this in another one I just realized, but relationships, people, you're gonna have to leave them behind. Sometimes, not all the time, but you know, things are never gonna stay the same, and so if you're in a tough situation, that's really helpful to remember, but it's also something to remember when you're, with someone you love or at a place you love, that to really just embrace it. 3, it's okay to fail. I have a fear of failure. I hold myself to incredibly high standards, and sometimes I'm better about it now, but I used to, and it just led to I wouldn't try things. But it's okay to fail. Like, you learn a lot from failure. I mean, not that you shouldn't study for your classes, but like if you do your best and things don't go quite according to plan, that's okay. 4, this I guess goes in with the other ones. Life never goes how you expect it to. So my 8th, 9th into 10th, well, going into high school, at the beginning of high school, I was such a different person. I've always been someone who plans ahead. I really like making plans, but I thought that I was going to be someone I'm very much not now. But the plan was, take all the hardest classes, take as many AP classes as soon as I could in high school. I ended up not taking a single AP class. I wasn't able to, with my mental health being where it was. And then I was going to graduate, and I was going to go to the best college I could. I really wanted to go to Princeton. I told people that it was just a dream school, but I was holding myself to it. What else did I think? I thought I was a girl, so there's that. And then I was going to go from Princeton or wherever, hopefully somewhere high quality, top notch, to Cornell vet school, and I was going to be a vet and all that. None of that's happening. So who I thought I was going to be now is so different. I'm going to my local liberal arts school. It's really tiny. I thought I didn't want to go to a small liberal arts school. I'm going to an even smaller liberal arts school than my parents. But yeah. 5, being serious all the time is boring. 6, everyone you meet has a story. Be receptive. So I really try not to judge people. Obviously I'm going to judge people sometimes, but sometimes the best thing you can do is listen, and sometimes the best thing you can do is just recognize that it's not your fault sometimes if people are doing something, and that doesn't mean you should put up with being treated badly. But just being open to other people's life stories is a thing I try to do kind of intentionally. 7. There are so many ways to make art. So I didn't used to think of myself as artistic because I'm not, well, I'm a little better, but at the time photorealism isn't my thing. But now that I've kind of gotten more into it, I've realized that I have been making art my whole life. Like, I've been collaging since I was really little, and, you know, there's abstract art, there's, like, sculpture, just, like, crafting things, creating things, writing, you know, photography, it's all art. I can do anything, but I can't do everything. So I like to do too much. I'm extremely overambitious. And I'm working on that because I overcommit myself. I'm gonna make it another video. So there's this great seashell story that our campus minister told us, but like he tells the story a lot. But it's worth sharing. It's something that's really impacted my life, but I'm gonna make a whole separate thing about it, I think. We'll see. 9. I don't need to be the best at something to enjoy it. And this is something that, like, it hasn't been as difficult to learn, but, like, I did gymnastics. I wasn't good. Obviously, I don't do it anymore because my body's trash. But I was never competitive. Like, I tried new things. Maybe I was, like, it was weird that, like, I joined the tennis team last spring. Again, my body's trash, and I'm not gonna be able to do that again. Last spring, yeah, that's what I said. And I wasn't good, but, you know, enjoyed it. Like, you know, we do things a lot, and we don't need to be competitive. It can just be a thing we do for fun. 10. Laughter can't fix every situation, but it sure as hell can lighten the load. You know, laughter. Sometimes you just gotta laugh at the situation around you. 11. Being different is a good thing. I don't know if that's something I learned recently. That's something I learned as a child, but it's still something I learned in my 20 years. 12. Rules and authority can be wrong. This is another thing I grew up learning. So I'm Quaker. And we grew up kind of learning to question authority and, you know, morality over, you know, authority, I guess. I don't know if that's the right way to phrase that, but, like, if something's not right, you need to use your voice to say something, even if it's not the norm, or even if it's a law, or a you know, a leader, or whatever. Family goes beyond just flesh and blood. I have so much. My immediate family's pretty small, but I have a huge, like, extended chosen family. 14. Sometimes kindness can be an act of rebellion. So this is something I've thought about a lot recently, especially, like, last week. But not, like, just last week, but, like, this phrase kind of solidified it, and I understood, like, you know, it's a thing because I'm a pacifist. But being kind doesn't mean being passive, because, like, you know, like, Jesus, for example, like, he was rebellious with his love. Like, you know, turn the other cheek. That's an act of rebellion, but it's also not an act of violence. It's an act of passive rebellion, and you know, love thy enemy as thyself. Like, that's like a big deal. I'm like, you're not gonna just do that passively. Like, it's difficult. You're actively choosing to show kindness and love in the face of great evil, and that's not letting it slide. Like, you know, it's going up to the person who's holding the gun, walking up to them and like disarming the situation. And I'm not saying that's necessarily safe, but, you know, yeah. 15. This too shall pass. So when you're in a, like, really bad place, or I'm trying not to use bad as a judgment word, #DBT, I don't know what this was, when you're in a situation and it feels like you're never gonna get out, or even just like if you're having a really hard day or a really hard week or a really hard month or this, whatever it is that's hard, whatever it is that's hard, it'll pass. So if you're having a panic attack, you're not going to be having a panic attack forever. You feel like you just want to give up. It's going to go deep, darker, but if you just hold on, I mean, not just hold on, like, if you hold on, the situation will pass, and it'll get better. And I didn't used to believe that, but I really tried to embrace that this too shall pass, and I'm doing so much better than I was when I was in high school, and just before. But self-advocacy is a foundational skill that opens all other doors. So I, going into college, I did different growing up, and I think a lot of people who have been sick or mentally ill or chronically ill or just had, other kinds of adversity will kind of understand this, where I'm coming from. I have to advocate for myself, or else I'm going to suffer. And I've learned a lot about how to advocate. But I don't necessarily have, this is where I was originally trying to go, I don't necessarily have the same, like, social skills or, study skills. I also have ADHD, so my study skills are a whole other thing. I don't have the same, some of the same life experiences as my friends going to college, so the things that I'm struggling with are things that they've kind of grappled with already. But going into college, I'm close to home, but I have friends who are close to home and we're still homesick. I mean, I'm at home right now, but I'm on break, so that's why. And I speak up for myself, so I know what I need, and I know that the only way to succeed is to advocate for myself, and I'm learning to advocate for others as well, and that advocacy is really becoming an important aspect of my identity, and so I just really think, and that's something that, like, a lot of the faculty, not just professors, but so I go to a really small school, so, like, some of this is what I'm talking about. If you go to a bigger university, you might not understand, but, like, some of the, like our dean of student life, and actually also just some of the deans and, like, res life staff, and student leadership staff, like, just a bunch of the faculty who I interact with and my professors and everything have commented on how good I am at advocating for myself and how strong that skill is, and it's like, for me, I guess I didn't realize how I always thought of myself as being kind of not helpless, but, like, needing to be better at things like that. But, like, I've learned that I've grown into a strong advocate, and that advocacy is kind of a motivating thing. So now I can advocate for myself, and so I'm learning how to advocate for others as well. I don't know what my hair is doing. I need a haircut. 17. Asking for help. Asking for help is hard, but worth it. So I really don't like admitting that I need help sometimes. So I try to do things on my own, and then I kind of start crashing and burning, and I'm like, gotta ask for help. But, like, part of that comes from trauma, and just, I'm not even gonna go there. I just don't talk about specifics of high school much, because it's kind of whatever. But I was kind of trained into not asking for help, even though I needed to. So I already had a hard time asking for help, but it just got worse. But, like, something I'm constantly dealing with, trying to be like, it's okay to ask for help. Because I always like to think of myself as wanting to give help, but not wanting to receive it. It's a whole cognitive distortion, but like, I always feel so proud of myself when I'm able to ask for help, and each time I build up the courage to ask for help, it pays off and it gets a little bit easier every time. 18. Sometimes people don't want you to fix their problems, they just need a listening ear. And just, this is something I just realized, and, you know, I don't know exactly, like, why I put this on this list, but I guess it is something, I think we all have the tendency to want to fix problems, and this is something I've really, like, kind of thought about based on introspection and just interactions, but, you know, just, you can't fix something, but if someone's venting to you, they don't necessarily want you to fix it. So I'll try to ask, like, do you want some help with this situation, or do you just want me to listen, or do you want to just vent? And so I'll try to make sure I know exactly what whoever I'm talking with actually wants, so that's an important thing. I'm gonna switch my 19 and 20. So 19, success looks different for everyone. So for me, success was surviving a certain number of years. Success is, you know, getting my paper in even if it's not in on time. Or sometimes success is, you know, just waking up, getting out of bed, getting dressed, taking a shower. My potsies will totally get that. And I guess other people as well, but like chronically ill, spoonies, whatever. But, you know, just taking a shower is a celebration. Like, and it's an important thing. Just to recognize that success can be small or big, and, you know, it doesn't just have to look like, you know, getting a really good job with a lot of money and having blah 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 blah. Like, you know, success means a lot of things. It's a broader word. And then my last one, and is the one that probably needs the most explanation. So at number 20, evil never sleeps, but neither does God. And so this is something that happened. So a few years ago, I had a really bad panic attack. I stayed up a little bit later than maybe I should have. I think this was near the end of my senior year of high school. And I was just like, I decided to start, like, okay, reading the news obsessively. Being informed is good. I was doing too much. So I was just like, oh my god, there's so much evil in this world. I can't go to sleep when there's evil in the world. It's actually kind of a funny story thinking about it now. But like at the time it was not funny. And I was just like, I just like collapsed in our like of the living room floor. I was just like, I can't go to sleep because evil never sleeps. Like, there's so much evil in the world, I have to fix it all myself. Which I feel like reflects some of the other things I've learned. And then I was like, I love Harry Potter. So I was like, Mad-Eye Moody says constant vigilance. It was bad. And I was just freaking out. I was like, I have to fix this. This is my problem, and I'm gonna put literally all of the world on my shoulders. It's not funny, but it's funny. Cause I was just like, there's evil, so I can't go to bed. But my family was like, you can't fix the world if you don't take care of yourself. If you're not, like, you can't fix anything when you're, like, sleep deprived and having a panic attack over, like, it just doesn't work. So this thing came to me, it's like, okay, you're right, evil never sleeps, but, like, neither does God. And that's one of my, like, favorite things that I come back to. Like, you know, there's a reason that I don't have this whole weight, and it's fine if you don't believe or whatever, but for me this is something that has been really beneficial, is like, I don't need to have the weight of the world on my shoulders. I mean, yes, I want to live as I'm called, and, you know, help as much as I can, and you know, speak out against injustice, but at the end of the day, I have a God that is so much more powerful, I guess. I mean, and just more, like, it's not it's not my job to carry all the evil in the world on my shoulders. But I don't need to worry about it because I know, like, God is there to take that burden, and it's not my burden to carry. And that gave me a little bit more hope, and kind of helps me to when I'm feeling kind of burnout about, like, how can I fix everything that I see wrong with my world? I don't have to. I mean, I want to help, but it's not like up to me. So yeah, that one did need the most explanation, but it's one of my favorite things that I've learned, and that phrase is, I think, one of the more profound things I've kind of ever come up with, I guess. I don't know. I'm not profound. But so those are 20 things I've learned in my 20 years of life. What's something that, you know, you're trying to learn or accept, or is there anything that I said that resonated with you? I don't know what this is. This is a persona of some sort, but yeah, so I'll see you, I don't know. I don't have a consistent upload schedule. I'm just, making shit up as I go. So, bye.